Hey y'all, Patrick here with Vetted. Jesse Michels has a brand new interview on Project Unity's podcast. It's a brand new podcast I just found out about. It's great. Who is Jesse Michels? He is the YouTube curator and host of American Alchemy. He recently had a documentary about David Grusch, the UFO whistleblower. We all know who David Grusch is. And I found it very interesting. It's a 2-hour interview, and we're going to take a look at a couple clips, and then I'll put a link to the full interview so you can check it out. Big fan of this channel. Just found it. It's great, and y'all should check it out. He's got a lot of other great interviews on there. The host is named Jay Anderson. So let's take a look at this clip from Jesse Michels, and let's just go from there. All right, so this is about how he met David Grusch. So let's jump in.
How I got hooked up with
David Grusch. Yeah. David Grusch, yeah.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I had a friend who had served in the Air Force, and he then went on to serve in the Space Force. And I was like, dude, I'm kind of a space geek generally, and I invest in space and stuff. And I was like, dude, you got to tell me what you know about UFOs. And he's like, well, man, I don't know much.
So real quick, Jesse Michels is a tech investor. He works for Thiel Capital, Peter Thiel. And honestly, Jesse Michels is such a well-spoken guy. I can't remember, honestly, if I'm being honest, the last time I have seen such a well-spoken person of his age, especially. So if you haven't already, check out Jesse Michels' channel, American Alchemy. I'll put a link to it as well. And, of course, the David Grusch documentary if you haven't seen that already. But he's got all these other great interviews, so please don't miss out. I have been watching him for about, 6 to 8 months or so, and just been a huge fan of him. I'm so happy that he is getting the attention he's getting right now because it's well deserved. His stuff is so well produced and edited, but more than that, it's just he's so smart. The way he connects the dots, his vocabulary. Just listening to him, I feel stupid. Like this guy is just so well spoken, and we're trying to get our own interview with him. So we'll try. I actually was trying months ago when we started Vetted to get an interview with Jesse Michels because I was already a fan. And then to find out he had done this, like, the guy's great. So anyway, sorry, don't mean to interrupt. Let's jump back in.
But he's like, I have a friend you have to meet. And I was like, interesting. And I met Dave around then. And I think he kind of he's always kept his cards close to his chest, generally speaking, because he has so much classified information, but even closer to his chest, with everything, then we've gotten to be friends since then.
Yeah.
But it was kind of, he was like probably sussing me out, and I think his first impression of me was like, who's this insane guy? Like, this guy's asking me like ridiculous, wacky questions all over the place. I think he probably saw that part in the interview where he's like, sometimes I hang up and I'm like, this guy's crazy or whatever.
I mean, again, if you watch his other videos, he is very inquisitive. Again, he's so well versed on so much. He reads so much. Any topic he can go down and then make connections and references. And if you see the type of people he's done interviews with, Jesse Michels on his channel, again, American Alchemy, you see the kind of people he speaks to, and he just goes toe to toe with them, right? The guy's amazing, really.
And yeah, we've just hit it off since then, and I'm in some ways he sort of kept me. I become very cynical in spots. Like, part of the reason I didn't actually put out an interview for 9 months between Graham Hancock and him was actually around the time those objects were being shot down, and NORAD widened its sensors. You had that object over Alaska, and it was a Chinese spy balloon, and then NORAD widened its sensors, and then you had all these weird UFOs or whatever.
Yeah.
So real quick on that, Ross Coulthart had a tweet about that where he is going to be looking into that. Okay. He is going to be finding out more information about those other objects that got shot down, because we only got the one, right? The picture of the one balloon that got shot down, but the other ones we didn't get. Here, real quick, I'll show you the tweet just so y'all can see that right here. Heads up, I'm recording a news special investigation with News Nation next week, exploring the still unexplained February UAP shoot-down incidents over the USA and Canada. There's a chance for me to answer your questions, so please X message or reply your cues to me here. I'll put a link to this too in case you want to leave your own question. All right, let's get back to the interview.
Yeah.
I think those UFOs were BS. Yeah, exact quote unquote. Exactly. And I felt like there was a cynical, weird sort of conflation going on between that and like real UFO, like what I would, call like a real UFO or whatever, in a way to, maybe create an auspice to kind of clamp down.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. Like, I don't want to be like a part of that. And so I kind of took off for a while. And all of that's to say is I've been very cynical in spots since 2017 in investigating the topic. And somebody like Dave, who's so earnest and idealistic, and as was displayed by the episode with him, is also autistic and pretty pure in intention, has kind of kept me going in my own sort of investigation in many respects.
I think the thing is when someone like this comes up, and it always seems to happen, kind of splits people into different camps of thought. So you got those who are truly just 100% all in, dude's a hero, stand with Grusch, those kind of people, right? Then you have the ones who are saying he's part of the controlled disclosure. This isn't organic. It's it's an artificial construct. He's been instructed to play a role. And as a high-level intelligence officer, he's able to play that role quite well. Then you have people like myself who are kind of sitting there thinking, all right, like the guy seems legit, he seems honest, I think he believes what he's been told, but I want to know who was feeding him information and where they were getting that information from, And until I don't know, man, like until I get that kind of thing, I don't want to cash my chips in any which way. I need a little bit more information about what he's been told and the fidelity of that data. So what would you say to the mixed bag of opinions? Like,
I would say keep an open mind. I've never wanted to be like to evangelize.
Great question, Jay. Honestly, great question. Again, y'all should check out this entire interview and the rest of Jay's channel, Project Unity. I'm a new fan, just jumped on. They got 35,000 subscribers, so please subscribe to that channel. He deserves our support.
I don't know for sure. It's all of this is probabilistic. Like, I trust him, and so and he's brought supposedly tens of people who've directly handled the material, like first-hand people, to the Inspector General.
Well, this is who I want to see. This is where I want to see it go.
Me too.
We all
and
do.
So
Jay.
look, it's an exciting time, because if that's a lie, that's going to be falsified very quickly. It's a bold fucking lie.
For real.
And so I after all my interactions with him, I do tend to trust him, but I think you have to think probabilistically with all of this stuff. And anybody who definitively tells you a thing is true without having seen the thing is full of shit. So,
Here's looking at you, Reddit.
I always want to kind of make that clear with all of this stuff I'm doing. I think the duty of science is to speculate. That's where stuff... It's like Neil deGrasse Tyson saying, I'm not going to debate a guy who's, sitting on classified information. Well, there's a ton of open source information. And the second we have definitive proof of aliens, then it's not a debate. Then you're just this person who's sitting back waiting for everybody, for the consensus to shift first. You should be on the forefront pushing the consensus.
Yeah, no, he did.
I have a quick comment about that, which I agree completely. But I thought about this, this idea, like, when we'll confirm that aliens exist, it's kind of like being in a car ride and heading to your destination and being like, well, that destination doesn't exist till I get there. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, it does. We just haven't gotten there yet. That's where I'm at. I mean, again, the universe is so massive, right? There's always two questions to ask. Are we alone? And have we been visited? It's two separate questions, because you can believe we're not alone, but also then believe, well, we haven't been visited by them, right? Or you can believe both. But clearly you can't believe we've been visited and that then you think we're not alone, right? That doesn't make any sense. But for me, it's like, of course we're not alone. Now the question is, have we been visited? Is this stuff real? So we got stories everywhere, people, but we just have no definitive proof. We're close, right? I'm not at 100%. I'm right in the middle, 50, excuse me. 50%. And until we get that, then I'll celebrate or not, depending on if it's a scary thought or not, right? That's floating around as well.
He doesn't acknowledge open source information like Neil Tyson and like
Before I know someone's going to leave a comment, well, about being in a car ride, the destination. So people will say, well, yeah, but that destination's never been visited before, so how would you know till you got there? It's like, being in a boat and taking it, to just going out in the boat and knowing there'll be more water ahead, right? Or land, something ahead. There just will be. You're not just going to fall off the earth, It's not flat earth. So, again, it's just so massive. The idea that we would be alone in this entire universe is just ridiculous. I mean, it just makes zero sense. Again, I don't even... And I know people smarter than me, well, we haven't seen it yet. Well, okay, but I mean, it just makes zero sense to me that we'd be alone. The odds of that are just astronomical to me.
Have decided that there's no credibility to this to the point, but like he's done it in that really annoying way where it's like, oh, it's so obviously not something sensible. I don't even need to look into it. Like, I don't even need to justify looking into it. I already know because I'm so smart.
Jay's making a great point here. Real quick, I made a video about ChatGPT yesterday. Check that one out. I got crazy downvoted in Reddit for that post, right? People just didn't even watch the video. They just saw the title and immediately started commenting what an idiot I was, even though I'm making a video about someone else making claims. But whatever, that's Reddit. And people just made all these assumptions on ChatGPT, right? And then they're like, I tested it. Even though if you watch the video, it's a different model of ChatGPT that this person had created and that you needed access to, right? They'd use that. But again, people just jump to conclusions. One guy had said in Reddit, like, I don't even need to look into this. I was like, well, people can make up their own minds and do their own research. He's like, why would that? We don't need to do our own research. I already know it's stupid, right? Again, what kind of thought process is that? It just makes no sense. So great job, Jay.
This is just a stupid conversation and I don't need to take it seriously. He's like the worst kind of hubris because he like refuses to even attempt to challenge his own narrative and perception. He just says, nope, I don't believe it. There was one thing real quick, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. It's just it really pissed me off with Neil Tyson when he was on the news and someone was talking about one of the UFO cases. It might have been the Tic Tac or something. And they were, going, but it's unidentified. Like, we don't know what it is. And he was like, it's unidentified and I'm okay with that. I was like, what do you mean you're okay with that? Like, as a scientist, how the hell could you be okay with that?
Yeah, that's amazing. No, that's a
flies in the face of every kind of genuine avenue of scientific adventure. It's like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? I mean, that's why people think he's paid off. I don't know.
So emblematic of who he is, and he's a part of a lineage where J. Allen Hynek was initially a detractor, then he became more open-minded. As soon as he became more open-minded, Carl Sagan went from very open-minded, if you read his diaries as a young person, listen to like his early stuff,
to shifting,
being a detractor. And then you have Neil deGrasse Tyson, it does feel paid off because anomalies in science are harbingers of the next scientific paradigm.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. Again, I'll put a link to all this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's a great conversation between these two guys. And again, I'll be checking out more of Jay's stuff on Project Unity. Again, go to that channel and subscribe. Go to Jesse Michels' channel and subscribe. I'll put links to everything here. And if you feel like it, subscribe to our channel. I post a video every day at noon about the UFO topic and everything surrounding it. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Jesse Michels, about Jay from Project Unity, about what they're talking about here. Very interesting stuff. And again, just great. And if you haven't already, please go check out Jesse Michels' David Grusch documentary. It's not just about David Grusch. It's a powerful 2-hour piece about the UFO phenomena in particular. So I found it fascinating. I've watched it several times. It's absolutely wonderful. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. I'm Patrick with Vetted. Remember, every day's a gift. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.